Ooga fucking ooga cunts, it's Schmeckle. Today we're talking with WePlayDK, who is a rapper of sorts, and Wrath of Controversy, who you all know from the cunt streams. He's just a
Not musically talented at all.
So why don't you tell the audience here, these 0 viewers, a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a rapper from Kansas City. I'm 23 years old. I started at 14, and I have an international crew. We're all over the place, from California to Sweden. My crew consists of engineers, artists, producers, social media, marketing. I have an assistant. Yeah, that's pretty much me, man. Music is my life. It's everything. So that's pretty much it.
And how'd you get into this in the first place?
I think us as when we talk about like things that are taboo, hip hop was taboo for me because I grew up in a Christian household, and it was actually referred to as devil music, and so that made me even more interested in it. And one day I got exposed to it. I was in the car with my dad, and I heard, I guess, I had my first full hip hop experience with the song on the radio, and I really liked it. I was 8 years old, but I didn't really start writing and taking it real serious until like 13, 14 years old. Um, and and yeah, that's how I got into like writing music. Smeko, or like, were you asking how did I break into the game, or were you just saying how did I even get started, like my interest and stuff?
No, yeah. How'd you get interested in it? But also, how'd you get actually started? Where'd you get your, I guess, like your jump from being a nobody to somebody?
Um, that's a story. Well, there's not a real big hip hop scene in like Kansas City. It's not. It's I mean, there's your local people, that you have your open mics and stuff like that. So, and Tech Nine is like the biggest artist that's come from Kansas City, and he got invested in by like a millionaire, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and so for anybody else, really, if you don't got a millionaire friend that can invest in your talent, your success, your come up is probably going to come from the internet. So I was on the internet networking. This was back in MySpace days, and I met a white guy named DJ K Matic. He's from Germany, and we had talked. We had talked for a while, and he took a bet on me. He invested in me. He bought my first mic. He he helped me meet some of his friends because he had leverage. Like, because the first record I've ever recorded with was with Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake's boss, Mac Main, CEO of Young Money. But how that kind of happened was DJ K Matic really believed in me as an artist. I was like 14, 15 at the time. And artists that are nationally popping here want to be big internationally because there's a lot of money in the international global music scene. And since DJ K Matic was a big DJ there, and DJs break records, whether it's in the club or uh, making mixtapes or whatever, yes, it was kind of like, hey, if you work with my guy Mac Teasy, because that was my name back then, I'll help break you over here in Germany, in the UK, whatever. And so that really helped. So really, it was a white guy named DJ K Matic who loved hip hop, who I guess made an impression on. And when I told him I was 14, 15, he couldn't believe it. He was 27 himself, and he thought I was around his age. I wasn't like a normal child. I didn't go My parents wanted me to do sports. I didn't care for sports. I didn't go to parties. Uh, I was like an introvert, which is, I guess, weird to a lot of people since I'm a rapper, and people expect rappers to be like outgoing and like socially, like, yeah, just socially outgoing. And I wasn't. So yeah, that's kind of how it happened, Smeckle. I was saved by a white man.
Well, that's not something we can broadcast to the audience without my channel getting taken down at this point. You cannot
Yeah.
portray a white man as the hero.
Mm,
Can we
I
change the
see.
story so he was Hispanic or something?
I was gonna say, can he be like half native, ideally? Because that would really be a game changer for the hip hop community. To my knowledge, there's not many Native Americans in that industry.
It really isn't. It really isn't. And I'm surprised that there isn't even a lot of Hispanics. Like there have been Hispanic artists, Big Pun, rest in peace, Fat Joe, but there's not really too many Hispanic artists either. I mean, I would have thought I would have seen a Mexican artist, a Hispanic artist pop off way before I saw like a Middle Eastern pop off, and now we have a Middle Eastern from Canada. Ironically, Smackle, we were talking about how Canada's taking over the music scene in America. But yeah, there's not a lot of Native Americans, Mexicans, Asians. There's not too many of them. So it's like white, black, and I guess now Middle Eastern that I see.
Yeah, there's quite a few British people of Middle Eastern descent who are popping up in the rap scene.
Yep.
But I think the UK is honestly just kind of on fire right now for the rap and hip hop scene. Have you noticed that as well? It just there's just a lot more British artists in general.
Definitely, especially there's this artist named Skepta from the UK, and Drake linked with him. I think they did some kind of deal, and I think, don't quote me, but I think they like even tattooed each other's labels on their skin or whatever. And so yeah, I've heard. I don't listen to grime music or a lot of UK artists, but I definitely keep my fingers on the pulse of what's going on, and I know, yeah, the UK has been on fire with the rap scene, and yeah.
I mean, I can't necessarily speak to the outside the mainstream just because I'm not really involved in the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of the mainstream American hip hop has really plateaued and is not pushing boundaries anymore at all. That's why it's not seeing the popularity it did, say, even in 2008 compared to now.
Well, nobody's really going platinum these days. Like, it's still big as fuck. It's just more artists, and it's just all over the place. I mean, they're streaming, there's SoundCloud, there's a lot of different avenues for music, but people are still. I mean, I saw one artist had like 30 million plays on SoundCloud, and on YouTube it wasn't as much. But I don't know. People are just like, it's like fragmented or whatnot. And the tours are huge as fuck. I mean, yeah, I just think it's a different game. But I mean, the amount of money people are making is, I mean, it kind of switched, I guess, from album sales to like touring and merchandise and stuff like that. I just think we're playing a different game now. I personally think we might be approaching a golden age only because there's so many different points of views now. And people that speak from the outside of hip hop, a lot of times they have this idea that it's all about money, cars, clothes, hoes, materialism, selling drugs, and gangster activity, but that's not even necessarily true. It's gangster rap is like a minority now in hip hop, whereas in the early 2000s it was the majority, and Kanye West was the weird one, rapping from the perspective of a college dropout. But now,
yeah, but if there's a new golden age of hip hop coming, I don't think it's gonna be people like Kanye West, people like Lil Wayne. I think it's going to be more rappers along the line of either along the line of like Idea and Aesop Rock, or something more like what Lil Dicky's doing.
well, See, a lot of people would disagree with you on the Lil Dicky because a lot of people can't even take him seriously. His flows and is like incredible. His rhyme schemes are incredible, but as far as his subject matter, not too many people would associate that with somebody that could be a pioneer or a sung hero of a golden age. But as far as Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and people, Kanye West, Smeckle, I guess you don't agree with the whole Kanye West praise, but a lot of people look at him as a legendary figure and really love his music. And I mean, some people have complained that his music is he's a different man now, or I guess they call him Kanye Kardashian now, but a lot of people love Kanye West, and there's just look at the top three. Raph, just look at the top three people that are winning in hip hop. You got Drake, you got Kendrick Lamar, you got J. Cole. None of them guys are gangster artists, and they just look at their last released albums. Fucking Kendrick Lamar, How to Pimp a Butterfly was like a conscious album. There was no club music on there. There was no twerk music on there. It had like jazz sounds. It was so non-mainstream, but it did mainstream numbers. And you got J. Cole, who just came out with an album, which I saw people saying it was boring, but he's just artistically growing. It just had a lot of soul beats on there. He was rapping about his new daughter, and his wife. And yeah, a lot of people said,
it's a very different situation between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar and Kanye.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the subject matter of right now, like the top three artists that are running hip hop right now.
Well, yeah, they're certainly not covering the gangsta shit that made rap popular.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. I mean, it's definitely not '90s and early 2000s rap where it primarily was bitches, blunts, and fighting and gang violence, which is pretty much the '90s into early 2000s is what it was.
Now, I will give you this, Raph and Smeckle, and I guess you have to be a prime listener of hip hop and really study hip hop to, I guess, know about this. I mean, because I guess I wouldn't call it mainstream, but anyway, Chicago, they have this drill rap scene, and that's, I guess, kept like that has a lot of steam or whatnot. And then drill rap is like gangster rap, but it's like all about like violence and shooting people. Like it's just straight violence. There's no gangster stories. It ain't like, I mean, they rap about selling drugs too, but it's mainly about shooting people and how many ops you can shoot. Ops are basically opposition, the opposite gang or whatnot. But they don't sell. Like, I mean, they put out mixtapes and they tour, but they don't really put out albums, and it doesn't really do numbers like that if they do. And that's another thing. There's different types of artists. There's artists that can, Future is an artist that has a formula where he can release a mixtape fucking every month or something, and people eat the music up. And then you got some artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, who drop once every 2 years because they're trying to fight the beast of instant gratification. Where people used to be more likely to live with an album, and now it's like you give it 1 week and you want the new shit, you want the where's your new album, after they just released the project, so but there's different artists that have different strategies. Like I said, some release every 2 years, some release every other month, and then some sell their music, others don't. Like Chance the Rapper, he made history at the Grammys because the Grammys never rewarded anybody that didn't sell their music, and Chance the Rapper doesn't sell his music. But his last project, Coloring Book, was
one that I've got a particular issue with.
Oh shit, really?
His music doesn't sell. He's not a lyricist. His flow isn't anything special.
Well, a lot of people would disagree with you on that, Smeckle. I mean, acid rap.
You're saying that Chance the Rapper doesn't have good flow?
Yeah.
Or that it's nothing special?
Definitely.
I could be wrong on this, and DK, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. But I would say take the average Chance the Rapper track, you take the average Kanye track. I think Chance has better rhymes than Kanye.
Well, certainly, but Kanye's garbage.
Well,
I can't co-sign.
But Kanye sells. He still sells albums. And he sells tickets. I mean, he ditches his show halfway to make sure Kim's okay. and
I'm
still
honestly
gets he
convinced at
still
this
gets 4 and
point
5 star
Kanye
reviews.
sells tickets because of what everybody thinks of him more than because of his music.
Does that change the fact that his shit still sells and it's still influencing the medium?
Not at all. He is a modern day philosopher, whether or not that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I don't like Kanye personally, but
Well,
that doesn't change the
go ahead.
fact that he's a huge influence on the medium right now.
Oh, certainly,
and
but so was Justin Bieber on his medium.
Justin Bieber less so. Significantly less so, proportionally to their medium.
Well, yeah, but Justin Bieber was Canadian, so you got to cut him some slack.
Well, that Justin Bieber is just kind of, as he's grown up, he's become less unique. He's become more just like 21. He stood out before. Now he doesn't. Now it's just kind of like, is this 21 Pilots or Justin Bieber? I can't tell.
Because he was the original Milo Stewart. We all were convinced he was going to swap genders.
I wasn't sure it was a boy the first time I heard the song, because I didn't see the video. I just heard the song.
Rap. I want to. Well, first off, I want to say Chance the Rapper is a great artist. I really do like him.
I really do like Chance.
Acid rapper or today's, and then the subject matter. I mean, he made a song about Sunday candy, for crying out loud. And in the black community, if you went to church, everybody knew about Sunday candy. Like their grandmas always had fucking peppermints and just fucking candy. And you know, like what he raps about, his subject matter, you know, growing up as a kid, it's just very different. And in acid rap, like I said, lyrically, in my opinion, that shit was on fire. His last project, Coloring Book, which won 2 Grammys, he infused gospel music with it. So rather going back to your comment on rather hip hop's pushing boundaries, I think it definitely is pushing boundaries. You just got to know where to look. I mean, if you maybe turn on the radio, you may not hear too much boundary pushing, because a lot of artists do sound the same, because like ever since the South really like took over and they've had like the longest run regionally, you know, people sound like each other because, you know, they're like whatever works, you know, taking the formula of what works. But you got Chance the Rapper doing the gospel thing. You got Kendrick Lamar with the jazz thing. You got J. Cole making you know, rapping on soul beats. Like there's artists that I feel like are pushing boundaries. I mean, even Tory Lanez from Canada, the reggae thing, you know, reggae was kind of overlooked, and now they're infusing it, and now those types of records are going #1. So yeah, I just think you got to know what it look like.
Over jazz and like blues beats and shit like that. That's been done.
I'd say that's more of a
not starting something new. That's going back decades.
Also, you say that's kind of like a resurgence of a trend with that one, like rapping over jazz and blues and old R&B. Like that seems like something that kind of like a more early Immortal Technique was doing that. So that seems like something that's just kind of now coming into the more mainstream stuff, but has been underground for a bit.
But everything, exactly right, and everything recycles. You can't name one artist that did that and went platinum. You can't name one artist that did that and it was like a mainstream like acceptance. Number one, number two, everything is recycled and nothing is completely original. So that's true. In the context of right now, what artists are doing is pushing the boundaries, because it's not hot. Like what they're doing was considered not hot, whack, or just old or whatever. So yeah, I would still think that's pushing boundaries, because they can do like safe things, like go with the formula that I mentioned earlier, that, you know, Atlanta has with a lot of artists.
Right. And you know what? I was incorrect in saying that they're not pushing boundaries. It's just you have to look for it more. I think that the mainstream, it was more common to see boundary pushing in the mainstream 10 years ago than it is today. Like it is happening, but it was much more common when Eminem was still one of the big pushers in the industry. Not to just credit Eminem, because there were several other artists doing it, but just the timing lines up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. And Jay-Z was asked in 2013, you know, about the music game, the current music game, and he said, "Look, great music is still there. You just got to dig for it." So what you said is actually it's true. You just gotta know where to look. I mean, what I'm doing with Empty Heaven, you know, shameless plug, which is a project I'm coming out with. I would say it's pushing boundaries and but you just gotta you got to know where to look, because if you turn on the radio, a lot of stuff will sound the same, and a lot of the subject matter will sound the same, because a lot of these guys come from the hood, and you know, yeah, that's another thing. A lot of these guys come from the hood, but they're not all still rapping about, gangster rap, where that was the accepted, social thing to do in the 2000s. Now it's more so about women, and yeah, it's annoying, the money raps and the jewelry raps or whatever, but it still isn't as much about killing people or glorifying that, which is a great thing. Like I said,
I feel like that's actually a bad thing. We've lost a lot of the story now that most of them are just rapping about bitches.
Well, no, you missed my point though, Smeckle. I said glorification of it. The story is like, if you look, I praise Kendrick Lamar. The Good Kid, Mad City was about life in Compton, his life in Compton, him being a good kid in a mad city. I love that, but I'm saying glorification. If you listen to the album, there's no glorification in it. It's telling stories, but so I'm not talking about the story.
It's certainly gotten to the point where it's not, hey, live the life of a gangster. It's, hey, avoid the fucking life of a gangster.
The exception is Chicago drill rap, and obviously you're going to get that. Art reflects life, so obviously you're going to get that from Chicago artists. I mean, it's a war zone down there, and they have a lot of different gangs. There's Black Disciples, there's Gangster Disciples, there's Peace Stones, Vice Lords. It's a lot, and it's a lot of violence, and yeah. So you're gonna, like I said, art reflects life. It reflects your environment. You could be a product of your environment. A lot of people are products of their environment, and that's what you get. I didn't live in the hood my whole life, but I have lived there, and I can see how it would be easy to get sucked into the underworld and put it in your music. I mean, going back to what you said, Smeckle, about storytelling, I do tell stories, but I'm careful not to make it like to romanticize or glamorize the violence and illegal shit. So
yeah. I actually have been wanting to hear some of your stuff. So afterwards we can you can like send me links or whatever to like your SoundCloud, or we can put it in the side chat or something, and I'll check out your music. But that is one thing that I love about very specific artists. And that's why I mentioned like Immortal Technique earlier. He's the one who really got me into like the really kind of storytelling and very, very much like talking about without glorifying crime and violence.
That's a good introduction. Immortal Technique, yeah, bro. You're a veteran at this rap shit.
I wouldn't say I'm a veteran. I just happen to know people who are good at introducing people to the right kind of stuff.
No, I'm saying Immortal Technique is a veteran in this rap shit.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing this for so long. Anybody that's
he's definitely been around a while, but he lost relevance a good while ago.
Yeah, I never really like followed him like that, so I can't really speak on it. But I've listened to him before, and like I said, he's a veteran at this rap shit with the flows, the delivery, the subject matter. And he had a big following.
The subject matter, especially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
the subject matter is what first got me into him, and I mean, just on a technical level, he is a great rapper. But the subject matter is why I got into his music.
Well, he touched on a wide range of things. So, like, what in particular was it? Like all of it, because he talked about wars overseas and stuff like that. So,
well, I was just getting out of the military when I got into him, so it was kind of like his wars overseas, and then also his what is it called? That it's about crony capitalism. I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head.
Okay.
But he basically talks about how the American public's trust is bought and sold.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, I can't remember the name of the song, but I believe it was on the same album as Dance with the Devil.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on Alex Jones. Yeah, Dance with the Devil was dope. But seeing him on Alex Jones talking about a lot of
he does seem like the type of person that would be on Alex Jones's show.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's rapping about what Alex Jones goes apeshit about, but I don't think that they believe the same things.
Exactly. When I said I like his content, I didn't mean that I agree with it. Just it's impressive that he's actually rapping about something.
Yeah. Substance.
Exactly. There's some actual content to his lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, that's why I got into Eminem initially, is because not all of his music, obviously, because he's got some that's just funny and goofy. But like one of the first songs I heard from him was "Cleaning Out My Closet,"
Okay. Yeah, that's a good.
and that's
Raph
a pretty
knows a
deep
good
song.
amount about that, having spent so much time in his closet. It's fairly fucking tidy.
But actually, I had like a barely, like as a kid, my closet was so fucking small, I barely used it.
Hmm.
Like you barely had room to hang up a shirt sideways and close the door.
I remember as a kid with my closet, I wanted to turn it into like a laboratory because of Dexter's Laboratory, like the show. Oh shit.
Yeah, I actually never watched that show until I was like 15.
Well, that's because you're an old cunt.
No, it's not because of my age. It's because we didn't have cable. Never had cable
so
as a
because
kid.
you were a poor cunt, either way.
No, cheap cunt. I was raised by a cheap cunt.
I was young as hell, so yeah. But all right, yes, man. What's up?
Well, actually, I'd be interested in hearing who some of your, first off, your inspirations as far as your own music goes. But who are your favorite rappers in general?
So those are two questions. So what are my inspirations and who are my favorite rappers?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do the rappers first. This is always hard, and there's two lists because you got the greatest of all time list, and you got like who's your favorite right now.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of two questions in itself. Who do you think are the greatest rappers of all time? Maybe like a top 5. And who are the rappers you listen to the most?
Alrighty then, greatest of all time will have to be the man that got me into hip hop, Lil Wayne, and then you got you got Jay-Z, you got see, by the way, my list to a lot of people is like blasphemous because I don't do the easy picks, you know, Tupac, Biggie, all that. I don't really like put rappers that I listened to and impacted me. So basically Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. Let's see. Put a lot of thought into this. Kanye West. Wayne, Jay-Z, Kanye West. This is early to say, but I mean, you hit me hard. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Yeah, it's a lot of mainstream in there. Don't get me wrong though, guys. I listened to a lot. I went through my whole underground phase and everything, but the people that showed me that, you know, I can really be myself and be creative as fuck and still be on top of the world musically, you know, those are the ones really. Kanye West, just his creativity, like he's in a unique position because he can rap and produce. A lot of people in this game, it seems like they could either produce really well and try to rap, but they suck, or they rap really well but try to produce and they're garbage. And Kanye West has went platinum doing both. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jay-Z wanted Kanye West as a producer, not as a rapper. And I think it was Dame Dash that convinced people to, you know, convince the label to give him a chance. Like, bro, he can really rap. But like I said, he was rapping from the perspective of a college dropout. It wasn't no street shit. So it was a risk, but it was a risk that worked out. And Jay-Z is glad that he, you know, took that chance. But yeah, that's top 5 greatest of all time to me. Now top 5 favorite artists. It's right now. Man, what I've been listening to, because I haven't been doing a lot of listening to music like lately. But I guess Chance the Rapper would be there. I guess Kendrick would be there. J. Cole would be there. Really looking forward to Drake's album, so I may put him in there. What is that, 4? Is that 4 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 4.
Who's the 5th one? Who's the 5th one that I'm looking forward to listening to? Do I want to put Wale?
I'm really hoping he's about to say Wrath of Controversy, and then Wrath is gonna bust out this ridiculously talented freestyle.
You have done way too many drugs in your life if you think that shit's happening.
I think Wale. I think I'll add Wale in that. Now, to answer the other question, the inspirations would be. I always tell people the top 3 things that inspire me is conversation, music, anime. I'm a big anime head. I like RPG video games, and I like dope shows. I don't really watch too many TV series, but like Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, Game of Thrones, that type of shit. I get inspiration from like weird places. Like when I tell people anime inspires some of my like best music, they look at me weird as fuck, but it does. I actually like some of the the opening music, and it be in Japanese, so like I can't really understand it, but it still makes me feel good musically, like the melodies and shit. So yeah, that's what inspires me.
Okay, and this isn't going to be that long of a stream. I was wondering if you could end it with maybe spitting a verse for the crowd.
Oh, so you're trying to put me on the spot?
I'm always putting people on the spot.
That is kind of what he does on streams.
Well, Smeckle, I will only do it if you do it first.
I don't know if I've told you, I'm very white.
And that don't matter.
Dude, he's like ho white. Like you spell it with an H first.
But Smeckle, stop acting like you didn't tell me you were really good at freestyling and that you've been freestyling for a long time.
Yeah, I've been freestyling for about 48 years at this point.
Despite being 22.
24, cunt.
Oh, sorry, mentally 22. My bad.
Mentally, I'm much younger than that.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
Even know me, cunt?
You're right. Like
I thought we were friends.
Like I think
I'm as smart as a 22-year-old.
I think Mrs. Schmeckle's technically a pedophile because you're mentally like 10.
Oh yeah, she technically rapes me all the time. I may or may not be getting technically raped at the moment.
All right, well, let's hear you technically rap.
I'll tell you what, if we get our actual rapper to spit a freestyle, I will respond to him in kind.
Well, my freestyle will definitely be a written.
Or a written, whatever. Let's let the professional go first. Then the drunkard can embarrass himself.
I like this plan.
All right, man. Whisper, scream, I holler about how my father should call up God or Allah to ball up a fist and nod up my head to knock a young heart not back to reality. Spitting bars for bucks wasn't part of the plan. For starters, society built on plan B is a plan to demolish dreams and cease revolutionaries like Martin and Malcolm. Like how come? All you niggas got dreams dying by the thousands. It's cool to dream as a kid, grow up, live in doubt, and never potentially climb X amount of mountains. Lone wolf howling, controller of my destiny. Pops, he doubted, devoted to have my vision clouded. Not as route encountered. Denied his route encountered my blessings. I'm blessed with power to not live as a coward. I showered and cleansed my soul of malice. I dream of enjoying my fruits of labor in the palace. Or it was something like that. And then it's like, just a kid with the grip on the gift with the list to do in the midst. The predetermined lives fix was the gist of bliss. Some speculate it's at the end of a cliff or in the climax of another nigga bitch. Ask me what I bench. Got burdens by the ton. Don't add to the shit. Question, can you tell me what's average to madness? I starved for a star-like presence. Yeah, I was out at conception. Flew at 2, managed to dodge heaven. Couldn't dodge the windshield because my older sister Brandy. Yeah, okay, there you go.
All right.
Schmeckle, I think hitting the end stream button would be better than trying to follow up from that.
All right. I did promise.
Yeah.
So
You did, but I'd rather be a liar than embarrass myself like you're about to. But go ahead, man.
I'm sitting here with Wrath and DK upon a stream. I'm about to be coming and making sure that I pick up some steam and destroy the fucking zeros who came in and pretended that they were some YouTube heroes so they could press those fucking buttons and just discuss anybody who tried to step in and just discuss a fucking message or a topic or a situation. Everybody knows that I'm coming in, but I've been freebasing. So that means I'm a little fucked up. Man, my blood's just a little mucked up. It's getting just a little bit thick. I'm about to get this little thin prick upon my thin dick, and I didn't mean thin, I mean thick. But I kind of fucked that up just a little bit. But it doesn't matter. I'm about to come and make sure that I shatter anybody who wants to come and take this to the fucking silver platter. Because I'm about to come and splatter these hoes. Everybody want to come and see if they can be the one to come and take me by this motherfucking Jewish nose. But I'm actually not Jewish. But I'm going to be coming and chewing. Anybody that want to come in like Chewy. Because you know I'm a little screwy. And I'll motherfucking come and fuck them up like I was that little fucking duck in the Affleck commercial. I'm actually like I was just commercially fucking fly. And everybody wants to see if they can be buying this guy who was coming and trying to rap. But he can't. That's it.
Well, that was better than I was expecting, and better than I would do. So I ain't doing it. I made no promise.
No. It's Wrath's turn.
There was no promise made by Wrath.
I made the promise for Wrath a couple seconds ago when I said it's Wrath's turn.
I don't think that's how this works, man. See,
you
might not have rights in Canada, but I'm American, so I reserve the right.
Heard how terrible that was. It's your turn.
No, dude, you did better than I would. Let's end on a better note than we could. Let's just call that good.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You don't have to rap, but let's hear why you ate a guy.
Nah, bro. 10,000.
All right, DK, can you end this with a nice little short verse? In fact, we only have one viewer. It's Dumbcough. Freestyle something. Tell him why you love him.
No,
I'm not joking about while he's a Nazi.
First off, Wrath, he's trying to put me on the spot even more because he knows I don't freestyle. I'm in the business of writing classic records. I don't freestyle, so there.
Well, I don't write raps or freestyle, so like I don't know what you want from me, my man.
All right, we'll end it this way. Wrath, turn on your camera, show the folks your dick. Let's get this channel banned. Make YouTube great again. I'm just kidding, folks. You wouldn't be able to see Wrath's dick on a camera.
It's really hard to line up a camera with a microscope. It's true.
Say goodnight, cunts.
Peace out.
Peace out, motherfuckers.